Hi, everyone. We'll go ahead and start. And thank you so much for being here today. And a special thank you and to California State University Northridge for creating this space and this opportunity to engage with you all. My name is Maribel, and I am the founder of Government Workforce Network. And we are going to talk about the knowledge, skills, and abilities versus artificial intelligence today. So, before we begin, I want to be clear about why I'm here. I'm not here to overwhelm you with technical knowledge. I'm not here to create fear about the future. And I'm definitely not here to tell you that technology is here to erase your value. I'm here to have a conversation with you all. It's a practical one and an honest conversation because right now, a lot of students and emerging professionals are hearing the same message over and over again. Like AI is changing everywhere. AI is taking jobs. The future is uncertain. And for many people, that creates anxiety. It creates fear. There's fear, if you're going to go to X, there's a lot of, posts about, AI jobs taking over um, jobs. And so, but here's the truth. This job market is evolving fast, and the competition to get hired is, of course, becoming more intense and more competitive. You know why? It's because the expectations are changing. And however, there are still jobs that are in high demand. So let me ask you something. How many of you have heard say AI is going to take over jobs, like I mentioned? And I'm pretty sure all of you. Well, maybe not all of you. So you hear this, online and probably in your class, in school, and maybe from your family, maybe from the news and, social media particularly. Now, keep your hand up if even for a moment that idea made you question your own future. Now, as you know, your feeling is real and it makes sense. But fear often grows when you hear big statements without enough clarity behind it. So today, I want to give you clarity, I hope. So I want to make sure that I am clear about this topic because, we need to be educated and we need to be aware. So, what I'm going to share is not going to be hype. It's not panic. It's not an empty motivation. It's just a clarity about what is changing, what is not changing, and what still matters because of who you are and what only human beings can do. So, for a long time, especially in government and large organizations, hiring has often, shaped around three things: the knowledge, skills, and abilities. And, or you probably heard it, KSAs. So now that might sound formal, but the concept is actually simple, right? So knowledge is what you know. It is the information, concepts, and understanding you've gained through school, the training, reading, observation, and experience. So, for example, if you understand budgeting, public health policy, data privacy, or business operations, that is knowledge. For skills, these skills are what you can do. These are the actions you can perform. Like, can you write clearly? Can you analyze data? Can you present ideas? Can you use Excel? Manage a project? Solve a technical problem or communicate professionally? Those are skills. Now, for abilities, abilities are how you apply what you know and what you can do in real situations. So that is where judgment comes in. It is one thing to know that it's a one thing to know information. It is another thing to use that information well under pressure with limited time, unclear direction, or competing priorities. So, for example, if two urgent tasks land on your desk at once, how are you going to respond? Are you going to freeze? Are you going to panic? Or do you prioritize, communicate, and move forward with good judgment? And that is ability. And that is often what employers are truly trying to understand. So when you hear KSA, don't think of it as just human resources language. Think of it as this: what you know, what can you do, and can you be trusted to apply both well in the real world? So that framework has shaped hiring for years. And even as technology changes, that basic question has not gone away and will not go away. Now, let's talk about AI. AI is a tool and it is a powerful one. And it is already affecting how work gets done. AI can scan thousands of applications much faster than a human can. AI can identify patterns in large amount of data. AI can help draft reports, summarize information, answer repetitive questions, and speed up certain workflows. So, in many organizations, AI is already part of the process. And that is exactly why we have this conversation, because it matters. But here is the part people often miss. Just because AI can do some tasks faster, it does not mean it can replace human value. It will not replace human value. Now, let's be clear about what AI cannot do. AI cannot be accountable. If a wrong decision harms someone, for example, the AI does not carry that responsibility. Human does. AI cannot build trust the way a person can. It cannot sit across from someone who is grieving, confused, frustrated, or scared and earn their confidence through presence, empathy, and care. AI cannot lead with moral judgment. It can generate outputs based on patterns and data, but it cannot truly carry ethical responsibility, community understanding, or lived experience that way a person can. So, for example, imagine a city has limited funding and must choose between two urgent community needs. So AI can help organize that data. It can compare costs. It can highlight trends. But what matters most to real people in a real community under real social conditions, that still requires human judgment. So, yes, yeah, AI can support decisions, but it cannot replace the full human responsibility behind them. And that is why this matters so much. AI is not replacing human value. Again, I will repeat, you need to keep this in mind. AI is not replacing human value. It is revealing where human value matters most. And it's true. Now, as technology becomes more advanced, the human qualities that cannot be automated become even more important, very important, right? So, like for example, your judgment, your integrity, your adaptability, empathy, critical thinking, ethical thinking, your communication, trust, those are not side qualities. Those are the qualities that will define leadership in an AI driven world. Okay, so when people say AI is taking jobs, I will clear this up. What they often really means is that certain tasks are changing, but a task is not the same thing as a whole profession. And it is definitely not the same thing as human beings value. So work has always evolved. A great example is banking. So many routine transactions that once happened, face to face, can now happen through apps, websites, and ATMs, and even with our phone. But that did not eliminate the needs for people entirely. It changed the human role, right? So we still have individuals in the bank, the tellers. So now more value is placed on handling complex questions, unusual situations, financial guidance, and customer trust. That is what's happening across industries now. So KSAs are not disappearing. They are evolving. Knowledge today is not just memorizing information. It also includes understanding how to work with technology responsibly. It means knowing how to use tools, when to question them, when to verify information, and when human judgment must lead. Skills today include more than technical execution. They also include communication, collaboration, adaptability, critical thinking, and the ability to work effectively in a changing work environments. Abilities today include learning quickly, navigating uncertainty, making sound decisions in gray areas, and using tools without becoming dependent on them. So, just so you know, the strongest candidates will not be the people who refuse to learn AI, but they also will not be the people who hand over all their thinking to it. The strongest candidates will be the ones who know how to use AI as support while still thinking for themselves. A simple way to think about it is this. AI can help you move faster, but it cannot replace your responsibility to think clearly. Like, for example, a great example is a calculator, right? So a calculator can speed up math, but if you do not understand the math, you will not know when the answer is wrong. And that is the same true with AI. The tool may be fast, but your judgment is still the real asset. Our brain, human intelligence. So what should you focus on right now? So here's my honest advice. Number one, you need to build strong foundations. Do not just memorize enough to pass. You need to understand your field, understand why things work the way they do, understand the principles behind the information, because real understanding matters. The stronger your foundation, the better you can use any tool wisely. So number two, build transferable skills. For example, your communication, problem solving, the teamwork, adaptability, professional judgment. These skills will travel with you. No matter what role changes, no matter what industry shifts, those skills remain valuable, and make sure you carry it wherever you go. And there's other skills that you can learn. Number three, get real world experience. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be prestigious. A great examples like internships, volunteer work, student leadership, your class projects, your community work, your research, presentations, being part of a community, or being part of a session like this. So if there's any opportunity that you can participate, you should participate, because all of it matters. Because experience gives you examples, and examples give you a story. Always remember that, because that is very, very important. It is essential when you go to selection interview. So I will have a session about selection interview in the future. So watch out for it. Now, in interviews, employers are often, listening for more than what you know. They want to hear how you handle something real, like how did you solve a problem? How did you respond when something changed unexpectedly? How did you work with other people? How did you make a decision? The answers you give reveals your ability. Now, number four, this is very important. Learn AI without losing your own thinking. Keep that in mind all the time. You need to learn AI without losing your own thinking. Use AI to support your productivity. Use it to brainstorm, organize, research, or improve efficiency. But do not use it as a replacement for your intellect, like your judgment. You are the pilot, and AI should be your co-pilot. I actually learned this from the other day. The NAF, one of the director, actually, she made that comment, and it's true. You are the pilot. The AI is your co-pilot. Your co-pilot will not make the decision. You do. So, because the moment your name, is attached to a recommendation, a report, a presentation, or a decision, your thinking must still be behind it. And that is what you called professionalism and integrity. And in an AI-driven world, what will make you stand out is not simply that you used a tool, right? So it is how you think. It is how you explain your reasoning. It is how you describe a challenge, your decision-making process, and the outcome you helped create. Here is the difference. So one person, one person says, I used AI to do the work. And another person says, I used AI to speed up the first draft, then I reviewed the information, checked the assumptions, refined the message, and made sure the final result was accurate and appropriate for the audience. So you see the difference? Those are not the same candidate. So think of it, if you are one of the hiring managers interviewing these two candidates, which one will you hire? There's a significant difference. One is dependent on the tool, the other is directing the tool. And that difference matters. And I hope that this analogy is clear, because employers are not just hiring output. They are hiring judgment, reliability, and trust. That is why this conversation matters so much, and especially for me, just to give, clarity. And that is also why we have, government workforce network exists. We are here to help bridge the gap between education and workforce expectations. We are HR recruitment experts that that are on the other side of the table. And aside from our, paid consulting services, we are here to help people understand how to position themselves with clarity, confidence, and purpose in a changing world. So just sharing that quick. So anyways, because change is real, but so is opportunity. So I want to leave you with this. Technology will continue to evolve. It will always evolve. AI will continue to improve. The workplace will continue to change. And that part is true. But here is what is also true. The world will always need people who can think, people who can lead, people who can communicate, who can use good judgment, and who can be trusted. Your future is not defined by whether technology exists. Your future is shaped by how you grow, how you respond, how you learn, and how you choose to apply your knowledge, your skills, and your abilities. So do not reduce yourself to fear. Don't, don't be afraid. Do not assume that your value disappears because tools are changing because of AI. No. Instead, you need to recognize this. The more technology changes the world, the more important it becomes to know what kind of human being you are becoming within it. So embrace it, learn more from it, learn the foundation so you will have a better understanding. And if you continue building your foundation, strengthening your skills, growing your judgment, and learning how to, for example, adapt with integrity, then you're not going to be falling behind. You are preparing in exactly the right way. And always remember, AI is only as effective as the human guiding it. The better the input, we call it prompt, the better the output. So that is why KSAs matters more now and are not going anywhere. In fact, you need to improve your KSAs. I'd like to open, I'd, I'd love to open it now for questions. Any thoughts, reflections, any questions you have? No questions? Okay. So I will share three questions that I have collected from other students, conducting this session. And the number one, the most common question is that, should I put AI skills on my resume? So my answer is yes, put it in. But, but you focus on outcomes and responsibility. Do not just say you used AI. Explain how you use it to improve efficiency, support your research, your analysis, or assist with problem solving while maintaining accuracy and judgment. That's very, very important. Two, what if my future job gets automated? Okay, so some tasks may be automated, but careers evolve. The people who stay relevant are the people who keep learning, keep adapting, and keep building the human qualities that technology cannot replace. So stay relevant. Number three, how do I compete if I do not have years of experience? Yeah, very, very common, especially students with minimal to no work experience. So here's my advice. Start with the experience you have, like your class projects, your volunteer work, leadership roles in schools, your presentations, internships, your research, and problem solving experience are going to count. What matters is how you explain what you learned, what you contributed, and how you think. So just so you guys know, I'm glad that this actually, this question was brought up because um, we had a live session, I believe 2 weeks ago, related to this. And I encourage you to go to our website and click replay through the Workforce TV. It's titled After Graduation, What Now? So it's a very good resource for all of you. Anyways, remember, the future does not belong to the people who fear change. It belongs to the people who know who they are, who keep learning, and know how to use change wisely. I know change is scary. It's very uncomfortable, but you need to learn to adapt to it. Be like a sponge, just absorb. So, anyways, thank you all, and join Talent Connect if you have not done so, as we have free tools for students And we are sharing these tools for free. There's no barrier. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to set up an account. There's no login. All you do is to go to our website, join Talent Connect, and we only require your first name and your email because we will communicate via email. And we have that student portal, and that portal will keep evolving because we will be adding more information for students. And so hopefully in the future you will join us for more live sessions. We are going to start another workforce, a new segment. We call it Workforce TV is HR prepared? And this is basically it's for organizations, but we encourage students to participate, to just listen, so you will know a lot about HR. So this way you will learn, you will be educated, and you will know what questions to ask in the future when you apply for work. Okay, so thank you and hope to see you guys again. And thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye.